doctor.
Be whoever you need to be with Vital.
We know for a fact that almost 2/3 of South Africans are overweight or obese, and obesity is an epidemic that has many causes. One of them is that the average night's sleep has dropped from 9 hours a night to 7 hours over the last 100 years. Peter, you're not 100 yet, are you? Just checking. And sleep is responsible for many weight and appetite controlling hormones. So the question is, can you really sleep your way to skinny? Many studies suggest you can. Now, what you eat affects how you sleep, and the idea behind getting restful sleep is to not excite your brain, but to calm your brain. Certain foods contribute to restful sleep, other foods keep you awake, and we're going to tell you which is which, or rather, Andrea's going to tell us which is which. Andrea, welcome.
Thank you.
Some bad habits, first and foremost. Before we get into specifics, what do we do that doesn't contribute to good sleep?
Well, I think a large meal, particularly high in fat and red meat, even though it makes you feel quite sleepy, it's hard to digest. And the same applies to alcohol, as you said before. Even though it makes you feel sleepy, your liver works very hard to break that down.
That's right. It almost wakes up in the middle of the night as it processes that alcohol.
That's right, yes.
Okay.
And I think the coffee lovers out there think I'm going to say something about caffeine now.
And you are, no doubt.
Well, yes. Well, and the good news is caffeine's not all bad. I mean, it's a nervous system stimulant, and studies have shown that it definitely increases wakefulness, supports memory and concentration, but in moderation.
Now, you've brought a friend who is a bit of a coffeeholic, haven't you?
Yes, I think Brian would love to participate in this discussion.
Brian, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hear you used to be a 12-cup-a-day man, but you cut down. Why?
I found that having 4 cups late in the afternoon affected my sleeping patterns, so I reduced it to 8.
Oh.
Okay, say something, Andrea. 8 cups of coffee a day.
I think that's a bit too much, but we can work on that. I think we can gradually reduce it to maybe 1 or 2 cups a day.
Okay, so that twitch is not normal then.
No.
So, Brian, I'd like to show you something interesting. I don't know if you're aware that we don't only find caffeine in coffee, but also in items. So here we've got a small cup of coffee, some tea, some painkillers, and flu medicine like that lemon-flavoured drink. And all of them contain caffeine. Which of these do you think contains the most caffeine?
I would think the cup of coffee.
Yeah, so would I.
Yes, well, the interesting thing here is this small cup of coffee has the same amount of caffeine as 2 big cups of tea and 1 tablet of certain painkillers and also flu medicines and also that tiny cup of lemon drink. So I think the point there is for somebody who already drinks coffee, it's important to read the labels of your medicines to make sure that it doesn't contain caffeine.
For most healthy adults, moderate doses of caffeine, 200 to 300 milligrams, which is about 2 to 3 cups of brewed coffee a day, isn't harmful. If you're battling to sleep, though, you need less. Brian, I have no idea what to say to you.
I think also as your lifestyle changes, when you're young and a student and you need 3 hours sleep a night, you probably can get by with 12 cups of coffee.
What about foods that actually induce sleep? We talked about caffeine, and we know that that's not great for sleep. What about foods that actually induce sleep, Andrea?
Well, I've got some snacks here, and I'd like to ask Brian what he thinks. We've got a plate here with a turkey sandwich and a glass of milk, and then a rice wrap with tofu and pumpkin seeds with water. Now, which of those do you think is going to be the best bedtime snack?
Well, I would assume that the milk and the turkey on a whole wheat sandwich.
I'm with you on that, Brian.
Well, I mean, almost there, because, I mean, milk and turkey contains tryptophan, an amino acid that the body converts to serotonin, a brain chemical that promotes good sleep because it's soothing and calming. But it's interesting, if you analyse the composition of foods, that you'll see tofu and pumpkin seeds that we have there contain even more tryptophan. So it's not only the traditional sort of turkey sandwich and milk that will help you sleep.
That would get you some points somewhere. I mean, if you had to open up your lunchbox and you had a tofu pumpkin seed wrap, I mean, wow.
Not that you would nod off after eating that anyway.
No, that's true.
So,
now, milk contains a lot of tryptophan as well, so I imagine that age-old sleep remedy of milk, warm milk and honey is where that comes from.
yes, honey actually enhances the sleep-promoting effects of milk. Milk contains calcium and magnesium and tryptophan. And I think many people, because of that, love their malted beverage before they go to bed. But it's important for those that are watching their weight and also that have diabetes to know that 1 cup like that already contains 3 teaspoons of sugar before you've added anything. So I think there's room for improvement there.
Okay, so help us out here. I mean, help Brian out especially. Give us a nice nightcap, something that's going to induce sleep after 12 or 8 cups of coffee?
So, Brian, I think if you had your last cup of coffee after 2 o'clock, which is a bit late, and you need to sleep properly, there's a chamomile drink that I can suggest to you, a chamomile latte. So chamomile is a herb that has sleep-promoting effects, sedative properties, and it's also soothing and calming. So we're taking hot milk with the calcium, magnesium and tryptophan.
Lightly frothed.
Yes.
To go with our tofu and pumpkin seed wrap.
And then a pot of strongly brewed chamomile tea. And I've taken the liberty to add a bit of honey to enhance that effect. So added that. Brilliant. So maybe you can tell me what you think about that.
All right.
As the alternative healthy drink before you go to bed.
Cheers, Brian. That's to better sleep and less coffee.
It tastes surprisingly good.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
You're right. Actually, as you say, I could get into this. And what about supplements?
It's so important to look at supplements because the multivitamins we take with B vitamins and also with ginseng, etc., are best to take in the morning before your day starts. Mm-hmm. And then something that can also help promote sleep is calcium and magnesium. So dolomite is a good source of that. And we've got a surprise for our studio audience. Each of them will get the chamomile tea and some dolomite to help them sleep better tonight. And they can try this recipe.
And of course, let's not forget the golf ball audience. So it's not just a case of you are what you eat. What you eat can also make you sleep. Someone should have told Goldilocks that. Speaking of Goldilocks, let's drop by Justine's kitchen for some banana bread. Bananas are practically a sleeping pill in a peel, loaded with tryptophan to send you to Never Never Land.
Be whoever you need to be with Vital.
I want to live the best life.